So everything happens left to right, melee to front. So you just what there's the order of execution chart, right? Let me pull up what I have before. Because we did this once before. Content, nope. Education. Order of operations. So general order within the same group is battlefield, then deck, then graveyard. On the battlefield, it's melee, ranged, left to right. The first thing that happens here, let me do my mulligans first. Just seeing a sentry, but because I have Ibar, this is guaranteed a sentry. This is red sword, or Kecker. It's congregation. They're not going to have a lot of damage for these. Okay, that's better. Do this to get Roach out. And to keep the Crystal Skull for something else. Okay. So, order of operations. First, the beginning of turn effects happen. That's things like weather effects, Sunset Wanderer, flutter, timers, other things that say at the start of your turn on them. Like timer. It says before the. Sorry, timer is not at the start of your turn. Timer's ended. But flutter timer is at the start of your turn. So that's something to remember. And then you play a card. And when you play a card, this deploys.
You need people like me.
It's a raid. Oh. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Rated by Fuzzduff. Thank you. Welcome. We're playing Catwitcher Mentors, and I was explaining the order of operations. Well, give me a second. I gotta get rid of this card. That's actually good for us too, because we spawn stuff. Yeah. So when a card is played, first a deploy happens, and that means everything's fully resolved, including like any thrives that it causes, any assimilates that it causes, any clashes that it does. Then anything else that is triggered by a deploy, as in other cards that say when X is played, when Y is done, right? Like, or a leader ability that say whenever you play a Wild Hunt card. Those things happen after the deploy. Then there's the end of your turn when you press pass, and that's when timer effects happen, then end of turn effects, then status effects. So why am I talking about this? Because these have end of turn effects. These. At the end of your turn. On turn end, right? And so when you have multiple things that say end of turn, and you want to know which happens first, he sent it back? That's very silly. Oh, sorry, I gotta concentrate for a second.
You see, you must hold it between your teeth like so.
A sword to outshine all others.
Now I'm making it that if he plays a card, he loses his Fallen Knight. Okay. So when you have multiple end of turn things, the way you know which one happens in what order is you go melee to range, left to right. So if I were to put this Catwitcher on the melee row, the game will go through every card. Nothing here, nothing here. Then Catwitcher. Catwitcher will move back. Then it will go this card, and then this will move to the right of the Catwitcher, right? So that way I know that if I put this in melee row, which I am going to do, this will actually boost this by 1. I also know that whenever this moves, so at the end of my turn, first Cowitcher will move. Because it moved, it triggers an effect by this. So it will boost it by 1. This will go to 5. And then this game will go down, no end of turn, no end of turn. And then this will have an end of turn. This will move to the right and boost this. So this will be end up at 6. Do I want to play another special? Sure. Thinning is good for me. And I have a red sword coming, so I'm not going to like brick my golden necker. I also still have necromancy, which I'm not going to play this round. So what did they do? They just played Hamelfart from hand. I guess they're just really trying to win the round. Weird decision to kill that and not one of the Witchers. What if I have like a Witcher card? This one's the trickiest one. If I want the Cowitchers to be on different rows, I have to play it, put it on the same row as where this starts currently. But I don't really want to do that. I want because I don't want to put an artifact here that will clog my row in case this round goes long. So I'm just actually going to play this. So here's a question. Will this disappear first? Or will the matron? Or will the matron move first? If it's left to right, see, this is at the end of the turn, then matron will move first, right? That meant that I had to put the sentry to the right of the book, otherwise the matron would have tried to boost the book, which would have lost me 1 point. So I think next I'm just going to play this. This will get boosted to her turn, so I'm just going to boost my sentry. And now to calculate how much points we get per turn, it's 3 things that move. So that's 6 from the sentries. And then this is 1 per turn, this is 1 per turn, this is 1 per turn. Right? So 6 plus 3, we're getting 9 per turn. But as soon as the next card is played, it's no longer 9 per turn, right? Because these are 2 per turn. So that's 2, 2, 1, 1. So that's 6. Plus 4 things that are moving, so 8. So I'm getting 14 points a turn now. That means this will be plus 28. So I'll be at 64 plus 2. So 84. I'll be at 84 at the end of this turn. So I'm ahead by a lot. That will give me some space. And then I can play card Megascope into Verification. Opponent doesn't really have a chance anymore. Ideally, I would have like played some of these engines sooner, but it's very hard for me to talk and think at the same time. But there you go. That's why we're not worried about this round, even though he has a lot of stuff. So this will pop out first, then it moves because it was left of the other one. Yeah, there's like a ton of stuff you can like do quizzes on. We don't want to lose the round. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be tricky because we never got to use it. But crushing traps ought to be good against them in a long round. So just make sure we have at least 2 artifacts, 2 specials. But we don't have golden neckers, and we don't have the book. So I am going to mulligan this. We need golden necker, or we need the both of these. We also want Necromancy because it's the only way we get a sentry now. Because we played both sentries round 1. Maybe playing the second sentry round 1 was overkill. I should have just played the verification megascope sooner and left the sentry as last. That way I wouldn't have to rely on Necromancy. Necromancy can always be used on a Cowitcher. Okay, well, this is really good because unit, special, artifact, artifact. The problem is I don't have an artifact that I don't mind verificationing. So what I'm going to do, because this has to be done at the end after you play Catan. And if Catan is coming from Golden Necker, then that's a problem. So I'm going to mulligan this and see what happens. Okay, that's better. We keep this. Sure, we might not get a sentry. Because now it's a 50% chance, but... So their devotion, we know this. Because their Ulrich boosted their Fallen Knight. And I mean, generally this deck is devotion. You don't play Ulrich unless you're devotion. But even if we didn't know all those things, we remember that the Fallen Knight boosted. There was another Fallen Knight. Opponent forgets the red sword exists. Okay, we just take it. We get our own. You love these over-explained games? Yeah, I should do more of them. It's a lot of mental effort. What I should do is I should just do them after each game. Then I can... It's more likely to be useful. So... we're going to play Catan first, and then Sentry, which is really bad. And then this. Oh. See that special that I played? This card? That should be reserved for moments like this. Where, well, it can't draw this, actually, because it doesn't have it around it. But still. Not drawing it is very tragic. So I don't think they're going to play special soon. I'll do this. So that if they do play special, it kills the junior at least. Then I can feel good about it. 5 cards is when you can start playing these guys. But you want some stuff on the board so that when they deploy for, you know, more than like 2 points. Or in this case, more than 3. The damnation is going to get a 6. Why does he want a Postodi? That's so weird.
The eternal fire be with you.
Like, it's a random unit, and it could very well be my Sabertooth Tiger. Like, I'm not going to click it right now. Because there's no point. Very Shin-like. Another brother lost to the perils of disconnect. Had a lot of casualties lately. So for this round 3, for the purposes of Catan, you want mentors first. Then you want units and artifacts. Now your sentry can be anywhere on the row and it will still boost everything. Because first Catan resolves, right? Why? Because the deploy effect. Deploy is always resolve first. So Catan's deploy is move everything. Catan moves everything, and then the game checks any other cards for any effects that this deploy triggered. One of those cards will be Sentry. At that point, Sentry will already be on the range row, and Sentry will say whenever an allied unit moves, boost it. So that's why it doesn't matter where on the row you put Sentry, except in the sense that it, you know, if you're putting it on the far left, that means there's a mentor that's not on the far left. Whereas mentors, it matters because the Catan deploy will resolve, right? But this is a whenever. Whenever cards happen whenever. So it's like in the middle of a Catan deploy, the whenever is triggered. Wait. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's because everything is moved. And then this card checks to see what happens. And it knows that I'm on this row and a bunch of cards appeared on this row. See, whatever card is in this row. Because it's in a different row, it's going to start checking for all the cards that appeared. And it will boost itself by 1 for every card that appeared. If it is the first card that gets moved, it will count every other card that's there as appearing on its row. If it's the last card, it will only count itself as the only card. So if it's the last card, it will boost by 1. If it's the first card and you're moving 8 other cards, it will boost by 9. Sorry. It will boost by 8. The most it will boost by is 8 in a perfect game. I think it was the Serpent Trap killing Junior that ruined him. Yes, Mentor's always at the far left. Now, if you're megascoping a Mentor, it's a little tricky because Megascope's an artifact and you don't want it to be on the left, but you want the Mentor that it spawns to its right to be on the left. Okay, so we're against Death Wish. This will be useful for Succubus. We don't want this in round 1. This will be good. Catan you always keep, just because not having it in your hand is like really annoying. I think I just keep this. Right? Yeah. I always like feel uneasy about not using all my mulligans, but I'm also haven't gotten used to using leader defensively. I don't want him to Maruno like my matron or whatever, but what could you do, you know? This is why I really like opening with Isengrim's Council, because it gets Roach out. And it's like guaranteed to give you one of these Dryads. And in this matchup, Defender's not that important. This Dryad being at 6 means, like, this means he can't Manticore, he can't Maruna. No, like, most of the Deathwish decks shouldn't have those cards. But I hate losing to that nonsense. Or I hate it when it happens to me, so maybe I overplay against them. But here comes Quacks, it's gonna get Defender, I guess. It's V. Oh man, I was hoping he would just leave it on the board. That would have been hilarious, because I would have just used 2 leaders on it and red sorted it. But he can't do that, because if I have... Yeah. So do I want another special? Yeah. I think I do. I think I just play this into this. Right?
Humans are scum. I prefer elves, dwarves, pixies
What if he has Igni? Oh, then we're screwed. But who runs Igni in V? Okay, we'll red sword the other toad, probably. Like, less consumes is good for us. Did he just not draw any consumes this round? Is that what's going on? We continue on our quest to thin. You have 2 Cat Witchers. It guarantees that, on different rows, it guarantees that your matron moves every turn. Wait, is there a line where we coax the or? I think I read sword. Oh, I can't. He might not click it again. So I was thinking about playing this selective mutation, drawing a cat with your mentor, putting red sword back. Then the next time he comes back, clicking the book to use the red sword to hit the quacks. And then I was going to use quacks to get this out next round. And get his like V out or something. He's just getting all the toads. So we kind of have to win the round now, I think. No, it would Quacks would get his V, but like if we lost round one, right? And then he passed to us round two at any point, we could just Quacks, get his V out, and maybe go down 2 cards, but then he doesn't have a V in round 3. Like without V, he has 0 points. He will auto forfeit.
The best feathers are from hens.
Also, if we think we're like absolutely winning the round, you can sometimes verification their megascope. Keeps him from getting that card. Yeah, I think our opponent just didn't draw their consumes. Do we win a long round against Quacks? We have 2 Serpent Traps. But I mean, if I get Golden Necker, I'm going for the 2-0. This is the hardest part of this deck, is knowing if and when you should push without Golden Necker. And how much.
Dole! Blasana!
That's 1 toad. Got 1 toad left. The odds of us missing Golden Necker are pretty low, right? And do you get carry consistently as T-Dex? Necromancer, I mean Arcane Tome. Can play any special. Thinning is there, is a way. I could play Mata. There's lots of ways. It's just the trade-off, right? This is easy. That way my frog doesn't have to consume anything. What happened to my defender? Oh, he quacks it out. That's right. What was his V at before? 6? And am I guaranteed to get this? No. So it gets really hard.
A sword to outshine all others.
I was trying to decide if I should click it and just kill this or not. He's got 2 toads left still. Yeah, and he's got Haunt.
Nothing broken? Then up we go again.
This doesn't have adrenaline yet, so. Oh no, I bricked this. I should have played that first. But if I do that, then he... Jesus.
If you're gonna fall on the cabbages. It gets easier, kid. Never enjoyable, but easier.
Fuck. I should have put this on the range row. We're so clogged. Wow. Okay, we'll clog ourselves
May close his eyes, never his ears.
first. Then we can play this. Because I don't know if this will spawn stuff or not. You know, honestly, I should discard it. Right? We're getting 8 points a turn, and then we will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This only works on units, right? Yeah.
I didn't sheathe it till the ground was slick with
Hello, motherfucker.
That was stressful because all the clock